I'm Michelle, and I would like to welcome you back to our Caboodles Coloring Class 1. This is our Intro to Coloring Techniques, and we are going to be talking about the Colorless Blender. Now, in your class kit that you received from the Angel Company, if you ordered one, you have this sheet right here just filled with images. Now, we included this class sheet just so that you could continue practicing the techniques on actual images. So what I've done, I've just colored in a heart right here on this cone, so I can show you a blending technique with your Colorless Blender. Okay, so let's get started. If you can see on this heart, I went ahead and colored it in, and then I purposefully went right outside the edge there. So I've got some ink out there because I want to show you how to fix that if that happens. And your ink can go out of the line because you oversaturate it. You can see on this image here, I really tried to get this juicy, and my ink did go out of my line some. So I'm going to bring in my Colorless Blender. This is my 0. Now, the thing to remember about the Colorless Blender is it's not really a blending pen like we're used to with our Tombow or our Dove blenders. This is a color remover. It takes color away. So the fact that they called it a colorless blender isn't exactly what we would call it. We would call it the color remover. So you can use that to touch right up on there, and it's going to take that color away. Now, I used reds because they're the hardest color to work with. And did you notice that as soon as I put that there, I took my brush tip, and see that feathering out? I took my brush tip and I went right up along it right here. I just swooshed right up to that line. Well, what I've done is I've opened the floodgates, and now all of my red is coming out. Now remember, with your Colorless Blender, just like with your other Copic colors, you can push the color and you can pull the color out. I'm going to go to my broad tip and I'm going to push that color back into the image. Now, one of the things that I tell people in my classes that I always do, I keep my heat tool right beside me and I heat it. I do that, I use my heat tool like that because until that ink dries, it's going to continue moving. That, and I'm impatient. So you can see I've still got it feathered out there. So I'm going to keep pushing that in, and then I'm going to zap it with my heat tool. Now you're going to find with a color like red, it's going to take a little bit of work to clean that up. It's going to take a little bit of work, but it's something you can definitely do, so don't think you've ruined your whole image. You can easily keep that ink in place or clean that up. Okay, so I just turned this around. Now on a piece like this, I would push that ink in, and it's just going to take some work, and you can see that I'm contaminating the tip of my Colorless Blender, and working with a strong color like this, that's going to happen. So make sure that you clean that tip off before you do anything else. So you'll just want to continue pushing that in and then heat set it in between until all of your color is in place. And that's one of the most common ways I think you'll find that you use your Colorless Blender, is to push that color in and to clean up your work. Now you can also let that air dry and then come back to it. If you don't have a heat tool, just let it air dry or try a blow dryer, and you'll just need to continue coming back to it when the ink has settled and dried. So that's probably one of the most popular ways to use your Colorless Blender.